Welcome back, companions, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Balance learns an old friend is on his trail. Rhal performs masterpiece theatre, Squash acquires his dragon sand, and Zaltanna does a murder. Passing through Kuzat, the group trades supplies to information whilst managing to avoid the planned ambush. Now in the desert, Squash needs to lead the group into the dangers of Draenor. How close is Talvan to Balance? Who else has Charlie sold information to? And will the lost city remain lost? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die. We find you guys having managed to avoid being ambushed by the people wanting to capture you all. So good job on that one. The sun is beginning to set, and as you kind of like go past and go back up one of these dunes, ahead of you, you can see a very large, deep trench that just goes as far as the eye can see. It looks exceptionally deep even from where you are. It's one of those like sun coming up over the Grand Canyon kind of like really long, really deep kind of trench things. It's now... Let's say the sun is rapidly going down. The temperature is also beginning to go down a little bit because, desert. What do you guys want to do now?
Like, how much longer do we have before the sun goes down completely?
Probably reckon maybe an hour and a half at most, and then you'll be operating in the dark. There doesn't appear to be much of a moon out.
We're going to want to set up camp before too long. Once it gets dark here, it gets really cold.
Perhaps we should find some sort of outcropping or somewhere we can kind of seclude ourselves.
A good dune hill is usually enough to obscure yourself from 50% of directions.
Well, that should be helpful, assuming that these bandits try to pursue us when they realize we've given them the slip.
Unlikely in the night. Nobody wants to travel here in the night.
Fair. In either case... Who's going to do the searching?
I'll find a good spot for us.
All right.
Take a survival check for me then.
Ooh.
On a 25, you managed to find a pretty close to where the trench cracks down into the earth. You find a little dune that's nearby, and it's kind of protected on three sides. So you think you could probably get away with starting a fire and keeping yourselves warm and doing everything you need to do. There is a good place. You're going to hear people coming. Possibly, unless they're really sneaky fuckers. And, you should be hidden enough. So that's what you find on a 25. I'm also going to say on your 25 that you've managed to hide your tracks on your way because it is a 25.
Nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I think this will make a good spot. If we dig a little hole and put a fire in the ground, we should be able to keep warm enough that we're not going to be shivering through the night. Yeah, I'm assuming we have some little twigs and something with us for the night to set a little
fire. You very
fire.
much have fire starting stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead shrubs and whatnot.
Yeah. Squash seems intent on getting the fire started and just seems to want to get the camp ready.
Cool. Are the rest of you up to anything?
Unless anyone asks for my help. No, not really. Rhal will just be looking around, surveying the desert, so to speak. But I don't have dark vision, so...
Oh my god, you don't, do you? It's dark out. It's pretty sandy. It's much like Falsum. That's about it, really.
It's right at home.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's pretty much at home for you. You're used to getting cold in the night, and you can probably feel the winds coming off from where you suspect like the mountains would be and such like. But yeah, pretty much almost like Falsum.
Cool.
As far as you can see in the dark, anyway.
Yeah.
You can't even see this goddamn trench. It's how dark it's now become.
That's probably for the best.
Zaltanna, what are you up to?
Zaltanna is fingering her ring. Not inappropriately. Shut up. I couldn't think of a better way to say it. She's like...
You're running your thumb over the ring.
Yeah, thank
Your
you.
wedding
She's
ring.
running her thumb over her wedding ring and I'm thinking.
Cool. Good to know, actually. Thank you for that.
Once Squash gets the fire started, it's obvious that he has the bag with the dragon's end in his hand, and he's just kind of staring at the fire at this point.
He's not started it yet?
He's like in between thoughts, I guess.
Okay. Balance, what are you up to, my man?
Balance is just sitting by the fire, cross-legged, just kind of relaxing, trying to enjoy the moment of being on the road, or desert sand, as it were.
Okay, cool. Are you guys setting up any particular watches? Are you guys going to practice with your sword work? What are you guys up to? Otherwise, we will roll straight into the
Both.
evening.
I'll take
Squash is
second watch.
Squash is gonna actually talk a little bit, or wants to talk a bit.
Okay, we'll go for it then.
Once he finally sets the fire starting,
I'll tell you what, the fire is crackling away. Zaltanna is deeply lost in thought, probably staring at the fire or looking out into the darkness and seeing a bit further than Rhal. Rhal and Balance are picking up the sword and you guys are practicing once again?
Yes.
Okay, Rhal, you can knock another day off of your proficiency.
Yay.
Yay! How many days are you on now, by the way, and how many do you have left?
We got 42 to go.
Oh, Jesus.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
You might be
It's
able
not-
to pick it up by the end of the world.
That's...
If Rhal doesn't save the world with a sword, then we're doing this game wrong.
All right. Basically, as you guys are wrapping up, that's kind of the scene that we see as these guys are wrapping up and finishing off their stuff. I'm going to assume because Zaltanna is deep in thought that she's kind of the one most likely maybe keeping an eye out on what's going around.
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. You're not officially on watch, inverted commas, but I just need to keep an eye on who's keeping an eye on what.
Would
So,
you like
there
me
you go.
to roll a perception check?
Do you know what? Yeah, go on then. You offered.
Oh man, I got so excited because I saw Aether's 25 and I was like, is that me? No, it's a 10. It's a 10. I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, did I just make a 25? Nope.
At the moment, you're probably too embroiled in your memories of whatever it is that you're thinking about attached to your wedding ring. Most likely, I assume, your wife.
Nah, why would I be thinking about her?
Okay, cool.
Just kidding.
It's good to know that this is where your mind is focused.
My mind
Okay,
is definitely on my wife right now.
Good. So I will leave it down to you three guys to start this up. And obviously, Zaltanna, if you want to jump in with questions, go for it. But I'm just going to let you guys go.
once Balance and Rhal sit back down or seem to be calming down, Squash just kind of absent-mindedly goes, "It's been a really long time since I traveled with this many people." And he looks up and his eyes kind of meet Rhal and he quickly looks over to Balance. "So, what are you guys planning to do in Draneth?"
Save the world,
Find the thing that's going to shut the portal.
which is portion of us saving the world.
Right.
Right, the crazy fire lady talked about that. You were looking for an orb, right?
Right. We're supposed to be finding this orb so that we can close the portal, and that should be one problem taken care of, temporarily at least, and then the Lodge can take care of any further portals that may pop up, allowing us to continue pursuing our endeavors to finish this whole apocalypse business.
That's right. You guys are trying to stop the apocalypse. You're just a bunch of couple of heroes, aren't you?
No, not really. Not really the adventuring type.
Well, speak for yourself, but...
You guys, you're kind of reminding me of my old gang.
The
Chris-
gang,
Yeah,
like
well,
the double ones.
Wait. Are you telling me that you were in a criminal gang?
yeah. Squash looks up. No, I used to travel with Swiftneblin. They're the ones who kind of saved me in the Earthdark and took me into their tribe. And Grishuk taught me a bunch of things. It's a really special time. Different.
Saved you in the Earthdark? Is that how you knew the Fourfold?
Yeah. Came across them there. Swiftneblin talked about them a bit. They seem to be delving down there, using it as some kind of a hideout. Yeah. But the 2-3 kind of disbanded. There's no more of them. It was kind of a sad thing that happened with us. It's a long story. A long time ago, Squash is holding the bag, kind of playing with it. The 2-3 are kind of no longer a thing. We hit hard times. The last raid was kind of a failure.
Raid?
Yeah, the Swiftneblin in the Underdark, they don't have access to a lot of the goods that you have on the surface. And they used to have traders. That didn't go too well, so now they have raiders. Taking the vegetables, the wood, sometimes just food and meat, whatever they need, whenever they want.
And you joined them on these raids?
Oh, yeah. I was actually kind of a key component to Grishuk's plans. I was one of the few that could stand the direct sunlight. They, of course, all being Swiftneblin, did not like the surface. I'd go out, I'd scout out the location, and I'd go back, tell them how things went, how things look.
But the last one didn't go so well.
Yeah, the last raid was probably about 10 years ago now? Something like that. The Swiftneblin, we often raided caravans and just kind of travelers. And it paid off well. Those people usually had their guard down. You could usually get the stuff away from them without them really noticing. That was before everybody became paranoid. Now you can't get a copper coin of a counter without being attacked. The Dawn have made sure of that. Yeah, me, Grishuk, and Crescent, we went on what was supposed to be a simple raid. He didn't. Grishuk had old plans. Crescent had foolhardy plans. Didn't mix well.
If you would like, I can attempt to bring back the memory and make it a bit easier for you to show us, if you're willing.
How so?
Well, you've seen a bit of the things I can do. There are other talents I have, such as being able to surface memories in a more visual manner.
All right.
If you're willing, I can do it.
Yeah, will they be able to see any of it?
They will, if I choose it.
Perfect. Yeah, that would be good.
All right. Sit back and just open your mind to that memory.
All right. Squash does his best to try to work with him.
Okay.
I will mark off the third of psi points.
Okay. You're very low to the ground for some of you. You're not used to being only 3 feet off the ground. Ahead of you, you know that you are currently surrounding you. There are bushes, there are trees. You're in some sort of forest. Ahead of you, there's a little clearing. And in this clearing, you can see that there are about half a dozen armed men. Mostly human, 4 humans, halfling, and what looks like a half-orc. From this distance, you can't tell wonderfully well. But you can hear them. They have near to them a caravan, a few horses. And what you notice most of all is that there are 2 spikes hammered into the ground. And attached to both of these are, I assume this is the first time that any of you have ever seen an undername. A dark name.
what?
Dark name, undername. Other names for them. Because I can't pronounce the other word.
Deep gnome?
Deep gnomes. We'll go... Shut your face. We'll go with deep gnomes. I assume this is the first time that any of you would have seen a deep gnome.
Unless I've seen them in the fourfold.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you make that decision. They are exceptionally rare. They tend to spend a lot of time in the Earthdark, and they are... You would know of them, I assume. But they are very deep down in the Earthdark itself. They don't tend to surface all that often. You've heard rumors of them for sure. It's up to you if you think you've met one.
I'll go with the I've probably heard of them and would recognize this myself as that, but maybe not have met one.
We'll say that you've seen one fight. How about that?
Never met them, but
but you've seen them fight.
Sure.
I think the only other person who might have seen them might be Balance, but that's only a very big might of how far down into the criminal underworld you went.
I suppose that depends on what happened with Sereth.
I'm going to go if you can probably recognize them. You don't know any personally.
That works for me.
Zaltanna, do you think you could make a case for having seen, spotted, or interacted with one?
I did travel a lot. So, but I don't know if I went. Well, can I roll?
Did you travel vertically, not horizontally?
Well, I grew up in like a mountain, basically, right? So
that's up, not down.
Oh, fair.
No, mountains still go down. There are many, many deep tunnels beneath Dark Hammer itself. I think you're traveling with the Tiers Irregulars probably would never have gone down into the Earthdark. That's a whole level of stuff that you probably wouldn't have dealt with.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that the double ones would have that deep an access. It's just whether you think there'd be any other way you think you would have come across them. If not, this is the first time you're seeing a deep gnome.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have that little matter turned up. We'll go back to where we were. Please restart the music. You can see there are two deep gnomes, one tied to each. One of them is clearly an old one who's bald, like all male deep gnomes. Dark, gnarly skin, much like rock. Very wiry, about 3 feet, black eyes. And the other one, a bit younger, a slightly lighter brown colour, but still very leathery, still very thick, a little bit taller, with softer eyes. The thing you noticed is that they are kind of crying out in pain. The sun is beating down upon them. And you see these men, halfling and a half-orc, discussing what they're going to do with their prisoners. Squash, what are you up to?
Squash is lying in some bushes and he's mumbling to himself. You can hear the words, I have to save them, I have to get them out of there. Why didn't they listen? Why did we do it like this? This was a bad idea. And he seems to just be berating himself, looking for a way to get them out.
As you are kind of looking for a way and about, for those people who have not seen this memory before, you looking left, looking right, you can see there are bags of food off to one side. There is, you can feel on the back, like, a couple of, a backpack filled clearly with some sort of wood planks, wood remnants, maybe a few nails digging uncomfortably into the back. Squash, this is a kind of painful memory. It's not good. And you see the humans talk. And the half-orc stands between them and the prisoners. And then, as one, the humans and the halfling pull a weapon. You see the half-orc throw his hands in the air and walk away. For those of you who have seen him, which I believe is all of you at this point, as he throws his hands up and walks away, you can see some of the scars you recognize on Damas as he makes his way north, just leaves. How close are you at this point, Squash?
I am assuming I'm a good distance away. Too scared to get too close because I've seen how talented and good these, how experienced these people are.
Okay.
I'm scared of them. They are more capable than any other party we've raided.
Okay. Very, very distantly, as you're trying to figure out what to go on, you just hear one of the humans just laugh to him, and you hear the rest of the group laugh as they watch this half-orc walk away. And you continue hearing these pitiful whines of the two companions you've known for many, many years. And the lead human, about 5'8", well built, seems to have more muscle than brain, points to the two deep gnomes and he says, well, if we take them back, someone's just going to put them in jail. Someone's just going to make them go work down some mine or something. We could just kill them now and be done with it. I don't give a fuck what that half-orc said about them not being armed or anything. I don't give a fuck about what any of them says about that. We should just kill them now and be done with it.
You can hear Squash mumbling under his breath like, no, you have to take them to jail, right? It's a thing, right?
As he's mumbling that to himself, you hear one of the human females like, well, it would be really good. Well, it depends. I mean, we could just kill them, or we could just stab them and let the sun do the job. I mean, I've always wanted to see how they die. I mean, they're dark gnomes. I mean, they're not real, are they? They're not real things. And you hear them all laughing. And after a couple of minutes, these two being the loudest, the only things you can hear from this distance. Sorry, you put yourself there.
Yep.
You see the halfling pull out a short sword, and he just stabs each through the chest, twists the blade, and they die within seconds.
You can feel Squash digging his nails into the dirt around him.
And that's where we fade out.
Squash, seems to be having a hard time breathing a little bit. So, yeah. Those humans caught my friends, tied them up, and killed them for the crime of stealing. So, when are you gonna do me?
Kill you?
Okay. A, none of us are humans.
No.
Is there a B?
B, it's offensive to compare us to humans.
I have stolen from you.
Okay. C,
And
we all met in jail.
Okay, well, we weren't supposed to say that, but okay.
you've been in jail?
Why? Who cares?
Well,
Well, I mean, we were supposed to care, Zaltanna.
Then
We are
then
kind of in a dangerous place for all of that.
why would you kill the kid? Why would you kill Cox? If you know what this is like.
Wait, who do we kill?
Cox, the half elf you tied to a tree. I'm sorry, you might not remember him. Squash gets out a dagger and throws it at your feet. But I sure as fuck remember him. I remember the little halfling you stabbed in the back. At your feet is a blood-crusted dagger. You recognize it as a dagger Squash gave to you when you were killing the slavers.
Oh my god, the fucking slavers? You kidding me? They're fucking slavers. Did you capture people and sell them into slavery?
No, but we raided people.
Right. Sure. Listen,
Stealing from people is different than ruining someone's life.
there's levels, dude. There's levels. All right? Capturing people and selling them into slavery and ruining their lives, like Rhal says, that's on level, let's say 9 or 10, I feel like. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucking high up there. Stealing from somebody, probably a 2. In the end, it depends on what you're stealing, but okay, you stole from me. It was fucked up. I'm not gonna fucking murder you for it. Are you kidding me?
But you murdered the kid that tried to attack us. After you tied him up, bound, unweaponized. And then you slaughtered the halfling with less flair than I've killed a goat.
Okay. Hi, I'm Zaltanna. Nice to meet you. I hate fucking slavers. What is there to it? There's literally nothing more than that. Again, level 10, what they did. Level 1 or 2, what you did. I'm not going to kill someone for anything less than a level 8.
Squash, you stole from us, but you didn't ruin our lives or anything by doing that. We're fine.
That's also a good way to put it.
They were ruining lives. I mean, that has to be stopped, right?
I've ruined lives. I've robbed people blind, left them with nothing. There are probably skeletons out there that have my names on them. I never pushed a dagger into a man's throat. He looks at Zaltanna. But I took everything they had.
Jesus, dude, you want to keep judging me over there?
No, I just want to make sure that once we get to Drenith, you guys aren't just gonna slay me on the spot.
Again. Level 2, and she points at him. Level 10, and she points at the where they came from, where the slavers were. And then she looks at like Balance and Rhal, like, am I making sense? Like, she's like looking at them for confirmation that she's making sense. Because in her head, she's making sense.
Squash. I mean, we're not really heroes, as you were saying, really. And the prison thing is true. But it doesn't mean we're out to get you. You haven't ruined our lives. I'm just now kind of getting excited about the saving the world thing because of all the people who are nice to me, I can finally kind of pay them back. And I'm kind of excited to help you because I want to see you get your cure. So I'm not going to kill you. I know that I threatened you earlier and I wasn't planning on making that physical, but, you know, I was frustrated. I didn't mean it like that. If you fuck with us, I mean, it's still a valid threat, but I'm not mad. It's fine. I want to see you get your cure.
Squash nods his head at your statements and then looks to Balance. So, you're the one who killed Cox. Do you feel that you would keep killing kids tied to trees?
It's a case-by-case basis. The way that I was raised, the way that I was taught, no two situations are ever exactly the same. And while in hindsight that may have been a bit harsh, I could tell that that person was, by their nature and by their behaviors, going to repeat the same mistakes again. I made the mistake of perhaps doing it in a more brutal fashion, but things could have been certainly worse, and I do not regret making a decision that may not have been a nice one. Somebody has to make the harsher decisions. Somebody has to make the right decisions.
Squash has a tiny little smile as he says, somebody has to be a tyrant.
I consider there to be a fine line between tyrannical rule and being a proper leader.
Rhal, thank you for your understanding. And please do not burn me again. I've got bad experiences with acid. He touches
Me too.
He touches the big scar on the left side of his face. Balance and Zaltanna, I hope we get through this alive.
Fucking A.
I certainly hope so too. I have many things I still need to deal with.
He shakes up the dragon sand back and goes, "To heroes," and breathes the whole thing in.
Okay.
Balance is watching. He's curious.
I assume you've never seen people actually take dragon sand before, just busted them for having it, right?
Right.
You basically see him just inhale all of this through his nose, through his mouth. He's almost like a starving man.
He's Kirby.
Yeah. Who's just like, like face burst into it. It's not a pleasant sight. But as soon as he pulls back, that kind of moment of like animal instinct of like needing this just goes from his face. And he just seems to completely and utterly relax. Like all the time that you've known him, he's either been on tenterhooks, he's all been like very taut, very looking around, and all of that just seems to melt away. You see his pupils just dilate to the size of saucers, and he just seems to be very out of it. You can pretty much move around him and he doesn't really react all that much. Yeah. I want to give all 4 of you inspiration for that. Because every one of you said and did things. I was just like, oh my God, that's cool. Oh, he's grown. Honestly, I'm going to give you all inspiration for that. So, holy fuck, guys. Rhal's excited about the future. Oh my God. And Bandus is like, it's case by case. No one's a tyrant. What? Oh my God. My personal favourite was Zaltanna's on a scale of 1 to 10.
Balance waves a hand in front of Squash's face and just, Squash?
There's like
There's
like a good 3 seconds as he slowly turns his face from the fire to Balance. Like a really long grin like pulls across his face, revealing his disgusting teeth, and goes,
It does look kind of terrifying and nasty all in one.
yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry. Everything's good.
How many fingers am I holding up?
He
Holding up 2.
He touches them with his own 2 fingers. 2.
All right. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
Bear.
All right. Well, he's mostly there, I think.
It's a better memory than I do. I've forgotten the goddamn bear. All right. Are you guys doing anything else? Are you setting watches? What are you guys up to? I'll rephrase. I assume someone's having a watch. Who's on first?
I'm going second.
I'll take the last watch. Give me some time to meditate in the meantime.
Okay.
I'll go whenever. Just let me know.
Well, if
I can't see
second
in the
and
dark.
third have been taken, I assume that means you're first.
Yes, that's fine. I can't see in the dark.
What, are you guys not going to let Squash take watch?
I was about to say,
Well,
I
you can
thought
take
there's
watch.
4 people here. Although, to be fair, I mean, you did steal from us. So, like...
Well, and now we have to kill you, obviously.
Obviously. I'm so proud of you all. All right, so we'll go with Rhal on watch first. Make a perception check at disadvantage for me, please.
Cool.
You can't see.
Yes.
You can't see.
Outside the ring of fire.
That's a 6.
Ooh.
It's about what I thought it was going to be. I don't have a good perception.
The moon is not particularly bright this evening. It's a mere slither. It's really cold, and that's not good for you. You prefer warm things. The sand gets a little bit in your eyes, and it's bloody annoying. Digs a little bit into like the wounds in your neck, but you don't really see anything. You don't really hear anything, but nobody is approaching. However, you do notice Zaltanna is not sleeping very comfortably. Zaltanna, I need you to make a wisdom save for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Unless you wish
I'm
to
so
choose.
excited. I'm gonna get my
Unless
fucking...
you wish to lose. Unless you wish to fail.
I'm gonna roll for it. Wait. Okay. Wisdom check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, please.
Fuck, I wish I was
Wait,
there
that
for
was
this.
charisma. Fuck.
That was a damn good charisma throw.
13.
Okay. You are kind of toying around with that memory that you were when you were playing with your wedding ring, thinking about past, the future. And you find yourself kind of sitting back at that pub, back at the bar near the temple when you first properly spoke to Benno. But it's not Benno that's sitting there. It's Adet.
Oh my god.
And she smiles at you and she says, I've been trying to contact you. Don't come.
Fuck that. Of course
Make
I'm
a
coming.
perception check for me.
Okay. That is a 3.
All right.
Would you like to use your inspiration? that you just got?
Oh yeah. Yes, I would. Was that 1d4?
No, it's a
No,
you
it's a
get to
reroll. It's not a bardic inspiration. It's a inspiration. So I should
right.
reroll.
Come on, roll 20. 15.
Yay! That's better. As you see her saying this, you are 100% sure this is Adet. You get that feeling that she's reaching out, that same feeling you had before of this is a debt sitting in front of you. As you look around the bar, you notice it's empty. You look out the door and it's just like this black haze. It's just, there's nothingness. But as you look back towards the bar, you can see a very tall skeletal figure clothed in dark mist who is just sitting on the bar, just looking at the pair of you. Adette doesn't seem to have really noticed him. She's just looking at you. And she says, please don't come.
Why?
I heard Dravos talking. He knows you're coming. He's setting you a trap.
I don't care. He can try to trap me all the fuck he wants. I'm not leaving you.
You don't understand. He's got this thing, and it means he can't lose a fight. He faces people and they die. He can't lose. He's setting a trap for you.
Even more reason that I have to come. I'm not leaving you with him.
She reaches out and takes your hands, and you can actually feel her hands this time. You can feel her hands wrap around yours, and she begins to well up as if she didn't expect to be able to do this, to feel this. And she looks at you again and she says,
tear up too.
I know. Oh, I'm so sorry. As she looks back up at you and she says, don't get me wrong, I don't want to die. I don't want to be stuck here working for him. But Zaltanna, I know if you come, he's gonna kill you, and I don't want to have to bring you back.
He's not gonna kill me. I have incredible friends that are gonna help me get you back. And they're not gonna let me die. Balance might be tempted, but they're really good people, and
he's got something. He has this sword, I don't know what it is. You're the weapon expert.
I got
and
a sword too.
He can't lose a fight.
We'll see about that.
It literally means he can't lose, Zaltanna.
Do you know what it's called?
I don't know what it's... He just refers to it as Rebecca. I don't know its real name.
Well, that's a really fucking stupid name for a sword.
Yeah.
All right. I got some really powerful magic friends. We'll find out what it is. I'll find out how to defeat it. I'm coming for you.
Take a persuasion roll for me with advantage because it is your wife.
Aww. 15.
She grips your hands even harder, and then she just pulls you in for a very, very quick, brief kiss. It's not quite as solid as her hands, but you can feel her. And she says, the only thing I know is that we're in a place that's really damp, and I got a peek as they were moving us. I think we're in a marsh somewhere.
Babe, don't say any more than that. I'll find you. But don't say too much about where you are, and we should probably leave because... And she kind of looks over her shoulder at the Sandman.
You see Adette look over, and you see them exchange a look. And the look on your wife's face is of utter terror. In the Sandman's eyes, you can see almost a reflection of her face, despite the fact the angle isn't correct to do so. And he's just smiling, nodding, biding his time. And she gives you one last look. And she says, find us.
I will. I love you.
I love you too. And she reaches out, she kisses you again, and then you wake up. You can still feel her lips on yours. Just for a moment.
She's going to go over and wake up Balance.
What? What?
Balance, I saw
A window attack? What?
No, I saw that.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, she came to me in my dream.
Oh, that's a good sign at least. It means that the Sandman hasn't gotten to her.
No, but he was there too.
Fuck.
Yeah. they are moving them. And Dravos has a sword. Apparently, it's a magic sword. That means he can't lose a fight.
I've never heard of such a thing. That sounds like a bunch of made-up bullshit to me.
I know. He calls it Rebecca.
Oh, that's cute.
It's fucking stupid is what it is. Apparently, he knows I'm coming. So...
Does he?
He's going to set a trap. And I just need to know that you are going to help me, right?
Well, of course I'm going to help. That's rather interesting, though. Why would he know unless someone told him?
Do you think it could have been the Sandman? Oh, fuck, wait. Oh, fuck, it's Honorino.
I was going to say, we were dealing with... well, he threw a dagger at me, so I don't think he's exactly the nicest person.
No, he's a douchebag.
A douchebag that is susceptible to my prying, at least.
We gotta find out about this sword. We have to talk to Demi about this sword when we see her. Because...
I don't know how long that's going to be.
Fuck.
She had to go back to Falsum, and we're going to be on the road for a little bit longer, I imagine. If anything, I think it may partially be a good thing.
Why?
Because if Dravos is on guard, then that means that it's going to be even harder for the Sandman to get to her.
You're right. No, if the Sandman gets there a little before we do, at least he kills Dravos before. Oh, I wonder if Rebecca can take out the Sandman. But I can't use it because Callan would get really jealous.
It's certainly a question. What would win? Magical artifact or a magical demon creature, a celestial, as it were? That word is really misplaced on a creature like that.
You sure we don't have any kind of way to, contact Demi to, forewarn her that we need to know about this? Because she'd be really fucking interested.
None that I have access to. And,
I know we have the mind link, but...
Caden's too far away, and Caden was leaving for the dusk anyways. Best we could do, really, was we would be hoping that we can get back to town and hopefully find somebody who may know her.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Squash...
Yes.
Wasn't he using message with her?
She initiated that.
You're asleep.
No, Rhal was taking the first watch.
It's my watch. I'm watching you.
Oh, you're just hanging out, listening to me talking to him.
He noticed that you were having a fitful evening. So yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't remember that being a thing.
You could always wake him up and ask him.
Well, we can ask her in the morning. Strange, mysterious voice from the air.
So what are you guys going to do now? Are you going to continue your watches as planned? Are you going to attempt to find a way of contacting Demi right now, or?
Ooh, I'm going to talk to Callanmorn.
I'm going back to meditating.
Okay, sure.
I'm not done yet.
I'm staying awake because it's my watch still.
You see her pull Callanmorn out from wherever it is that she has him stashed. Where does she stash Callanmorn when she goes to bed?
It's a cuddle pillow. It's a body pillow.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. She's sleeping cuddled up with him.
Is she spooning it?
Oh, yeah. 100%
Is it the big spoon or the little spoon?
Excuse you. Zaltanna's the big spoon, obviously.
Really?
Oh my god, the idea of...
Would Callanmorn be okay with that, though?
I don't think he has a choice, and it's funnier in my head because Rethics. Yeah. Okay, so you pull Callanmorn. Just open it. You just touch it. No, in fact, you just reach out. You grab the handle, the sheath. He's ready to talk whenever you want to talk. It's not like he sleeps.
Cal.
Yes.
Do you know about a sword called Rebecca?
No. It is not a name I recognize.
It's a stupid name. It might not actually be called Rebecca. It might just be that my ex-boyfriend decided to name his sword Rebecca like an asshole. Anyway, apparently it's a sword that makes its wielded incapable of losing. Does it sound like it all familiar to you?
It does ring a bell. There was a sword, a rapier I was looking for. Yes, there is legends of such a thing. Not a sword, however. A rapier.
That tracks. I don't think my wife would know the difference between a sword and a rapier. Okay, so now I just gotta figure out how my ex-boyfriend got his fucking hands on it. And how to defeat it.
The legends are you cannot. But if anyone can try, it will be you and me.
Ooh, this is perfect because Balance is smart. And Balance can probably get the rapier away from him.
Balance is certainly something.
That's as close to a compliment as you're gonna get. Good thing he can't hear you. So wait, but the rapier wasn't named Rebecca, was it?
No.
Is it like you? Does it have like a conscience?
I do not believe so. It is a very, very old blade.
How the fuck did my idiot ex get his fucking hands on an ancient, invulnerable blade? The fucking hell.
Some people just have all the luck, I assume.
Zaltanna looks at Calamorn and looks at her direwolf and goes, "No, I feel like I'm pretty lucky."
She comes along and just like licks your hand.
Aww.
All right. Is there anything else you want to ask Calamorn?
Yeah. I feel like there probably is. Hold on. Give me a second.
Rethix is going to kill me.
Just randomly. Hey, Cal, were you ever in love?
Okay. Yeah, at that point, we fade.
I'm joking.
We fade to black on Calamorn.
I'm joking. She puts him away. I'm not going to be like, hey, Cal, you ever been in love?
Death and slaughter. That's it.
He was in love with another sword. Its name was Rebecca.
Oh, no.
That would have been such a good backstory.
Yeah, but it's not. I can't do love between swords. That's just too weird for me. Okay.
We don't cross swords here.
Oh, my God. Okay, back to where we were. So, Zaltanna, you're putting Calamorn away.
Zaltanna, you're putting Zaltanna away.
We're putting Zaltanna to bed for the night. Essentially, unless you guys are doing anything, thinking of a way to try and do other things, we are going to roll forward into the morning.
Excellent.
Sure.
Excellent. You guys roll forward into the morning. You get up, you eat your breakfast. Some of you had a peaceful night. Squash, your addiction counter gets reset. Idiot. One day out, man. One day. Your addiction counter gets reset, so we will be rolling from that from tomorrow unless you get a hit.
Yes.
Okay. You guys pack up your stuff and begin to make your way to the trench. Squash knows that maybe 3/4 of a day. Speed you're going, maybe you can push it half a day. And you enter this trench proper, and it goes down, and it's fairly steep. The further down you go, the kind of that sandy stuff, the more kind of like proper solid rock that you go into. And as you look up and about, as you are maybe hour, 2 hours through this, you realize the size of this canyon are maybe 200, 300 feet. A good solid like 50 balances or something tall.
No. Do it proper. Proper measurements.
Height is a balance. Width is a dwarf.
Yes. Height is a balance. Width is a dwarf.
Yes. We're probably talking, 15, 20 dwarves wide at the widest section. Go all the way down to like maybe 4 or 5. Basically, the lot of you can pass through side by side. Ahead of you, you can see that there are lots of cracks and lots of caves in various different positions on the side of this wall. You can see some ledges and like different various rocks and everywhere. You can see that there is evidence of some creature life down here. You can see this by the bones and the carcasses that remain down here. There are a few small alive creatures like, small little lizards, geckos, the things you would expect to see, maybe some scorpions or two. You see the remains of what looks like a very large, possibly worm type creatures. If it wasn't the corpse itself, perhaps it's just the skin that it has recently shed. Either way. And as you continue walking down this trench, it gets cooler down here. It's very shady. Looking up, you can barely see like the sky above, which is this beautiful azure blue color. And your steps kind of echo off of the canyon itself. And you've probably gone 3/4 of a day when, Squash, I need you to make a perception check.
Squash is
with
gone.
advantage because you know what you're looking for.
Hooray for me. Advantage. That is 31.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Okay, so you see your, it's a 26.
Okay.
So on your character sheet, you must have clicked advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, so which means you only click the button once and it automatically rolls twice and it will always show the highest result.
I must have double clicked accidentally.
Yes, you did. So you did not get a natural 20. You cheaty motherfucker. What you got was a 26.
26.
However, on a 26, as you are walking along this, off in the distance, maybe, because I don't do distances, maybe 5-10 minute walk, you can see about 60, maybe 70 feet, a good 10 or 11 balances. You can see a ledge. And on this ledge, you can see two very, very large, dark stone. Zaltanna, if you were looking in this direction, you could tell that these stones, these big, big rocks, do not belong here. This, your dwarven knowledge, those rocks don't belong there, honey. No way. They were clearly put there for a reason. And you can see two of them, like kind of with a gap between them, sitting up on this ledge. And Squash, you know that this is the entrance to the Earthdark.
All right. Squash slowly turns around and points up. Over there. We have to get up there, and we just need to climb up there, and then we can enter the Earthdark. But we might want to move quietly. We don't want the worms and the breathers to attack us.
What?
The worms, the big worms, even Daichin couldn't take them.
Rhal's like looking around, clearly, like quite nervously.
You can clearly see, looking around, you can see some of those remains of like the worms I mentioned before.
And what was that last part? Breathers? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, what's that?
Did I not tell you about the breathers?
You haven't told us much.
Let me just tell you the whole thing.
So as you guys begin to get your camping gear out, your climbing gear out, which is not PHB standard because I think it's terrible, Squash begins to tell you a tale. And the tale, after a few programming, you get a lot more than you ever expected. Once he seems to start talking, he doesn't seem to stop. And it goes quite far back into his history. And that is the episode that we are going to experience next week.
Hey there, guys. Arch here, the voice of balance. I have some things I need to go through really quick, so let me try to get through them as quick as I can. So, first off, thank you very much for listening. We always greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure to check us out on Twitter at TLDpod. You can also find us on Facebook under the same name. If you haven't, please make sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you find your podcasts. It greatly helps us out, and we really appreciate it. A quick reminder for those of you who may have missed it at the end of last episode, but we now have a Patreon. If you'd like to help support the show, then go to patreon.com/TLDpod. If you go there, you can sign up to become one of our many patrons, where you can unlock several different rewards depending on the tier that you sign up for. Such rewards include the ability to access our patron-only chat on Discord, special ranks on Discord, as well as a special monthly AMA/talk that we're going to start doing this month. Mind you, that's only for the $3 and $5 patrons, so make sure you get yourself in while you can. We are also partnered with Skull Splitter now. In case you missed it from the last episode, we are now doing a special affiliate deal with Skull Splitter Dice. They're a really good company. They sent all of us here at TLD some sweet dice and case. to keep the dice in, and mine personally, I love it. You can go to bit.ly/theluckydie, all capital. If you go to that page, you can get a free random metal die. If you scroll down, there is an option to add to cart for a random metal die. What you're going to do then is shop around, buy whatever it is you would like, and when you go to checkout, make sure you type in the promo code the_lucky_die. Capital letter for the T, the L, and the D. Beyond that, folks, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much to those of you who have become patrons already since we launched. And until next time, farewell.
The
Spark Network. Imagine what your idea can do.
Well, in either case...
Fuck.
Fuck. Neil, what the... Why would you...
Blonda, that was the time to mute yourself. We were having a moment and you broke it.
Neil and Valanda broke the moment because Neil wrote he's going to name his fists and call them Fisty. I just think that that's so stupid that the fans deserve to know.
The Once and Future Nerd is a tale of knights and kings, orcs and elves, in which... Oh, you've heard that before, have you? Well, in this tale, 3 teenagers have been trapped, and together they must... Oh, you've heard that one as well? Fine. Here's what real people from your realm have to say about the Once and Future Nerd.
All reviews are by real fans, but performed by actors.
I call this one socially aware D&D.
Necromancers pervert the most sacrosanct traditions.
Not all necromancers. Oh, wait. Yes, that one is definitionally true.
An awesome adventure with plenty of LGBT representation and badass female characters.
Oh, wait. That wasn't very ladylike. Hark! Verily, I hereby decree that you all shall yourselves.
It's a show that happens to deeply understand the world in which it was created.
Stories matter. People are the stories they tell. Power is who gets to tell the stories.
Find us at onceandfuturenerd.com